Welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV. Yeah, here in front of Raubahn. Where we continue, our main quest. Raubahn's invitation. Captain, Commander Hext, fine work you did today. After Pecula Imperatorus, we needed a resounding victory like this. Thanks to you, Valga's star yet burns bright. I'm glad, I really am. But you should know that Lyse was injured in the fighting. Regrettable, but I'm pleased to hear that she will make a full recovery. For Dola's parting words, on the other hand, ring less favorably in my ears. But if Xenos wishes to invite us to a so-called royal hunt, then this bull would fain accept. What troubles you, Lyse? Oh, it's nothing really, just, we're almost to the end, but you still got to save Kryla and do so much more. We'll find her soon enough. Pippin is his best man scouring the Castrum's archives as we speak. Listen, Lyse, it will take time for us to fully occupy the Castrum and prepare to advance into the logs. While we wait, there is something I would like to show you. Both of you. After all, this may be the last chance we have to catch our breaths before the final push. I don't see why not. Then come with me to Radiata. From where we need to follow another road south. I don't think I know this village, it's so small. Even after all these years, it's still the same. But I'm getting ahead of myself. You deserve a proper welcome. Captain, Lyse, I brought you both here for a reason.
I wanted to show you this house. My house.
You mean, this is where you grew up?
Aye. Not much to look at, is it? Same could be said of the village. It was damn near impossible to live off the land, barren as it was, which is why so many of us traded our plowshares for swords. Swords and uniforms, mind. We became military men. Tensions were rising between Alamigo and the Empire, and there was always a need for more soldiers to watch the border. It was only a matter of time before the first skirmishes broke out. It's a frightening thing to face Magitech armor for the first time. But after a lot of trial and error, I found ways to bring them down. After a few victories, people even said I had a knack for it. And then one day they hit us. Hard. I was wounded and sent home to recover. Back here.
Will you remain silent for fear of the Mad King's vengeance? Of his eyes and ears in the shadows and his knives in the dark? You, who call this living dishonor our nation. It is but a slow death.
Curtis, Lyse's father.
Liberty or death? Liberty or death? If this be your creed, then raise up your hands, raise up your voices! Together we will tear Theodoric from the throne! Together we will reclaim our freedom!
Hilbert.
Send you home to men, did they?
Aye, sir. Garlean's got the better of us. The chirurgeons say I'm healing well, so it won't be long now.
Liberty or death, is it? Tell me, soldier. What do you think those words mean?
We must needs be willing to die for liberty.
Spoken like a true patriot. But liberty should not be the end in of itself. Liberty is a chance to build something better. A stronger, more prosperous home for our people. It's not quick or easy work. And it is never truly finished. But if you neglect it, then sooner or later, you look up to find you've traded one tyrant for another.
Well, sir, I've never asked for much. Never wanted to live like a king, just wish it were a little bit easier is all. For me and everyone else. And I'm willing to die for that, if that's what it takes.
Dying is easy, soldier. Living is harder. Rest, mend. Regain your strength. You'll need it in the days to come. And mayhap one day we will need it too.
Liberty or death?
Conrad chose you as his successor, Lyse, and I will not gainsay his decision. I have but one question to ask. Liberty or death? Those were Curtis's words and his creed. Will you swear by your father's creed before your comrades and the gods?
Liberty or death. That's all you can hope for in war. Father understood that. And you want to know if I do too. I swear to you, here and now, I will fight until the end. Be it liberty or be it death. But the freedom we win must be for every Alamegan, even ones like Fordola, though they may hate us, and the Ananta, though they may fear us. We'll fight, and we'll talk, and we'll find a way to make it work for all of us. Compared to all that, retaking our home will seem like the easy part.
A good oath. And there is naught else to say. You are indeed your father's daughter.
Even a blind man could see that Lyse wasn't herself. Not that I don't understand. To be thrust into a position of authority under such circumstances, to be made responsible for the lives of so many, it isn't easy. When you see your friend get cut down before your eyes, it only gets harder. I'll wager she thought Lyse was dead for a moment back there. 'Tis one thing to risk your life for a cause, but to risk that of another is a burden no soldier is ever truly ready to shoulder. The fear, the guilt, it weighs on her, and that's good. It will make her a better commander. But first she needs to learn to carry it, to not let it break her, to remember that some causes are worth fighting for. Liberty or death. Her father's words gave me strength once. Maybe they'll do the same for her now. Right then, I think I've said enough. The two of you can head back. I mean to stay a bit longer. Okay, I do this quickly. I understand he's been away for a long time, and he probably wants to be alone for a while. Let's head back to Radiata. Wait, am I the only one who feels like I'm being watched? I don't know if it's Imperials or bandits, but I know there's more than one of them. Let's split up. You head northwest, I'll head northeast. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think so. Suspicious youth. Seven else has seen us. Solid. That is as good as a life to the Imperials. What was that about? They attacked you too, didn't they? I had no choice. They're Alamegan, not even conscripts by the look of them. Barely adults. In fact, some of their faces look familiar. Wait, I remember. They're from Radiata. They must have seen us when we were looking for Stark. They probably thought the Imperials would reward them if they captured or killed... Gods, Lyse and Alfino could be in danger too. We have to get back to Radiata and find Nago. What's all this about? You two look ready for a fight. We were ambushed by villagers outside of Radiata and thought they might try to attack you too. Are you alright? Aye, we're fine. The twins are at Stark's. Lyse is asleep last I checked. I'm sorry, did you say we were ambushed by villagers? Not soldiers? Did we not see what we just did to Castrum Abania? Goddamn fools. Lyse, Serenia, we overheard you talking. The ones that attacked you, they were young, less than 20 summers? Aye, thought so. It's always the young ones, the ones who have only ever been known the occupation. They're the ones you've got to look out for. See, the only decent work to be found in Radiata is for the Imperials, and everyone knows it. Children grow up knowing it. They have it pounded into their skulls that the best they can hope for is to serve an Imperial officer. Bloody fools! After everything they've seen us accomplish, they ought to be begging to fight for the Resistance, not against us. They've been living in the shadow of a Castrum their whole lives. A few victories won't change that. You get some who can't wait to spit in a soldier's eyes, but they get beaten for their trouble, or worse. Even so. And the ones that don't fight back but refuse to back, well, they just starve. Beat the dog that bites his master's hands and ignore the dog that refuses to do his bidding, see? In the end, the ones that learn to abide are the ones that survive. Now, you may say that's all about to change, and I believe you. Many here do. But a young man or woman who grew up knowing only what he knows has got every reason to doubt. Remember that. Do what you have to if it comes to it, but remember that. The sooner we liberate Alamigo and bring an end to the occupation, the better. Only then we can show these youths that things do not have to be this way. Only then will they know what it means to live free. We're going to build a new home for ourselves, together. A better home than they've ever known. And with that, I can fly. I've been thinking, if Lyse needs more time to heal, maybe we should move her to Ralga's Reach. She can receive much better care there, after all. Our infirmary is probably the best place for her, short of sending her to Gridania. Indeed, and given what Mistress Road has told us, I would rather she not remain here. It's settled then. Nago, go and see about getting us a carriage or an escort. Alphino, you should get your sister ready for the journey. Serenia, would you mind going on ahead and telling Aurela that we are on our way? I want a bed waiting for Lyse when she arrives. Thanks. And what do you do? Must seem strange seeing me doling out orders, but not half as strange as it feels to do it, let me tell you. Huh? Do you require assistance? Very well, we'll make ready to receive a patient at once. Give me a hand, would you? There, all crisp and freshly laundered. We're here. Is everything in order? Right. We're bringing her in. Honestly, you needn't have gone to all this trouble. What can I say? It seems a good way to discourage you from limping off to battle when my back was turned. Listen to Aurela, please. You need your rest. I know. Any news of Kyle? She'll be cross if you make her wait too long, as will I. A chilling prospect indeed. I'll find her sister. And I'll fight twice as hard for the both of us. We're good together. When we're not at each other's throat, I miss that feeling. Serenia, I have a favor to ask. Would you mind waiting outside for me? I won't be a moment.
Sorry to have kept you waiting. Well, what do you think? I know it's a bit old-fashioned, but in a traditional sort of way, Ida wore it whenever she could. Not that I'm pretending to be her or anything. Not again. It's just... if this is the last battle we fight to free Alamigo, then she ought to be a part of it.
It suits you.
It's nice of you to say so. And a bit embarrassing. But mostly nice. Anyway, the real reason I asked you here was to sneak in a warm-up before the final battle.
Alright.
There's this place I know where monks used to spar as part of their training. Care to join me?
Sure. Maybe you got a little carried away, but you have to admit what was fun. Thank you, Serenia. You're the best kind of friend. The kind that's not afraid to knock some sense into you. Cheek to cheek. The battle is actually a part of a trailer sequence for Stormblood, right? Lyse's Right Fist as the title. Now that Alice is settled in, it's time to rejoin the fight. Oh, actually, maybe you and Alvino should go on ahead without me. I need to talk strategy with the officers, and that might take a while. I should have been here with you to the end, if only I hadn't been so reckless. Ah, there you are. What was it Lyse wanted of you? A sparring match on the destroyer's very palm? I would have liked to see that. But she's right, we have lingered here long enough. I'm ready to depart when you are. Take care, you two. Don't do anything I wouldn't. And you better not rise from that bed until you are given express permission to do so. Urianger will be paying you a visit soon, and he's already worried enough as it is. We have a long road ahead of us. Lead the way, Serenia. You returned. How fare your sister, Alvino? Her rapier wit remains undulled for better or worse. Have there been any developments in our absence? I'm proud to say that Castrum Abania is now wholly under our control. At present we are taking stock of the enemy's supplies and redistributing them among our men. Also, while sifting through the officer's documents, we learned that a unit of skulls under Fodola's command passed through the Castrum en route to the capital, with a single prisoner in their custody. Trial. It has to be her. In all likelihood, yes. You'll be glad to hear that the tunnel leading to the locks has been secured by our soldiers and is now safe for travel. And one final piece of good news, reinforcements from all 4 Alliance nations have arrived and joined the main host, which has established a new base of operations within the locks. Commander Hex should be arriving soon, yes? When she does, we will call a meeting to discuss the final stage of Rhalga's beacon. Sorry for keeping you all waiting. An Alamegan folk dress, how very fitting. And well-fitting, I might add. I wanted to do something for Ida and myself. That's it, the last push. We're coming, Cryle. And now this gate is open and we can pass into the, I believe, the last area of a story here.
I remember my father's words, how they rang in my ears as we left Castrum Abania behind and looked out over the locks before us. Comrades brave and true, they had come from all across Eorzea to stand with us, to stand against oppression and tyranny. 20 years the Empire had ruled us, but no longer. Liberty or death. Liberty or death.
Ere we begin, I would say to you as a proud son of Alamigo that I am grateful to each and every one of you for your part in this endeavor. Now, to the heart of the matter. The enemy appears content to remain within the city walls and await the inevitable siege. Open conflict has been sporadic thus far.
Xenos is waiting.
Whether Xenos is biding his time until reinforcements arrive, or attempting to bait us into a trap, none can say. We know better than to trust his word.
Regardless, we can ill afford to present Garlemald with a chance to ready her legions. It would be in our best interest to press for a swift resolution.
A long siege wouldn't be good for the people in the city either. If food becomes scarce, you know who'll starve first.
Just so. Therefore, I propose we commit our forces to an all-out assault. What say you? Twould seem we are of one mind. Then let us proceed to the how of it. The Immortal Flames will form the vanguard, supported by the archers and the conjurers of the Order of the Twin Adder, under the Elder Seedseer's command. Once the main host has cleared a path to the walls, we will bring forward the artillery of the Maelstrom and the Temple Knights. I would have your cannons pound the gates and punch a hole right through the middle of their defenses.
What about the resistance?
Your part will be to occupy the residential district and keep civilians out of harm's way. The people are more like to trust their own.
Of course. You can count on us.
Remember that there is a second entrance to the city proper there. If all goes to plan, we will have secured 2 points of entry. Once both objectives are complete, we press on into the city, surround the palace, and hunt down Xenos.
If all goes well, yeah. Let's hope it does.
As for the Scions, you will be held in reserve as an irregular unit until we have more intelligence on your captured comrade. Kryle's rescue will be your primary concern, but I dare say we'll find a use for you once her freedom has been secured.
I'm certain you will.
Thank you, General. I pray we find her quickly.
Rhalga's beacon nears its end. Soon, my friends, Alamigo will be ours once more!
We will make this happen. And I think this is a good point to end this episode. Until next time, when we see how we put our plans into motion. I'm Ace, and don't get lost.